charts for this week. So these were averaged into. Look, we were chopped all freaking day. And this was like my buy zone here. Finally moving. I kind of want to do a different SPX. That thing will fly if it gets there. Spreads are tightening. 42.60. Okay. So this is a strike, like a contract. So these contracts are moving. Now this is short. So SPX 42.60, it's like expires in an hour, basically, hour and a half. It's a little sketch to open. Oh. Bigger. I'm legit on a 30-second chart right now, just only because I already got my levels and everything. So I'm just looking for like precision entry exit stuff. And I'll flip back and forth. Tesla's a go though. Holy shit. All right. I like oil services too. So broken range. Tesla. Where'd you be? AMD, I'm probably gonna swing. I have these little cheapy. They're like, I got them for like sub $20, like a 97 put for tomorrow. Up here, it's kind of just gonna be a time thing. Oh, Tesla's getting the volume. Holy hell! 650. All right, so I think I'm gonna a 40, 60, 42.60 put. I'm straight revenge trading this. Don't stall. It's stall. You guys trade anything today? Hella oil. Oil stuff going crazy. Energy.
How do you determine what sector you look at in the mornings?
Oh, dude. So this is my first chart. So I have 7 screens in front of me right now, by the way. But so these are the main indices. And this is like your first look or my first look. The orange boxes are an average week's range. So it's always range trading, if that makes sense. But with options, it's very time sensitive. So while you might get the price right 90% of the time, that doesn't actually matter. The only thing that matters in options is timing. So unlike a futures contract where it doesn't cost much to hold, you might have some finance fees or something like that. In options, it's like minute to minute matters. Um, so that's like crucial. Anyways, I'll have my key levels here. The VIX is volatility, VIX. So this tells me essentially, a lot of people call it the fear and greed index. That's shenanigans, is what it is. But it's really how expensive or how cheap um, generally priced options are right now. And this is actually telling me they're pretty cheap, but it's going down too. So that tells me that if I'm going to be in a trade, I need to be in and out fairly quick. Do you guys watch Dixie at all? I think you do. Like DXY dollar index.
Yeah, some of us do. I've heard a few of the guys in here mention it a few times.
Yeah, so this is ultra important for all markets. But this is the US dollar measured against I think it's like 4 or 5 other largest global currencies. And really, it tells you this is a real fear and greed index, actually, to me. So if this is going up, that means that people are buying dollars, whether it's our interest rates are higher than theirs, or they're reducing risk from their portfolio. So like if they sell something, let's say you had equities or crypto or gold or silver or something, and you sell it and you don't buy anything, this goes up. So to me, that seeing this like a huge move today in the last couple of days was kind of like, okay, we're probably maxed out. And on major indices, we tagged it 200-day and had a huge rejection. Second screen is this, where this is subsectors. So kind of like if it was crypto, this would be like your majors, like your BTC, Ethereum. Actually, you might laugh, but here. So like if I have a crypto view, it's usually Bitcoin first, right? Ethereum, then I don't know why I have this up here, and then a handful of like alts or something like that, right? So you have your general like markets to see what's the strongest sector. So this morning, semis were strong, bouncing off of support. So it was a quick trade to the upside. And then we have it, XOP. This is oil and gas sector, right? Where this doesn't look anything like, S&P 500, if that makes sense. So if this is the strongest sector, I'm going to go inside here. And just after years of trading, you'll kind of know, hey, look, if Uh, it might be something as similar as like, okay, well, NFTs are hot right now, or NFT projects are hot right now, so I need to, go look at my whatever, like Theta or like what's it? What is that one? CHEZ or something? Remember that old one? It was yeah, whatever this is. I forgot what this is. Chili's or whatever you have in that sector that has like the highest beta, meaning like the biggest outsized moves. It'll move more than the actual market itself. Right now, this market today is completely sideways. So it kind of sucks to trade. We just had FOMC minutes released yesterday and a couple of Fed speeches today. So the market's really just like in a digestion mode. And it's just been flipping red to green, literally all day long. Yeah. No. On this, it's essentially like levels. It's so tough right now. Today is not a good day, to be honest, just because there's not any volume. Like freaking Apple is just like fighting. I'm torn on Apple, man. So the next 15 minutes, we'll probably see some volume. this is just charts. I don't. Do you guys do? So in the options though, so it's you have whatever you're trading, and then you have series like time. It's really just going into. Let's go to Tesla. Like finding where the volume is on the strike itself. If that makes sense. But you got to sort by volume and just really sit on wherever the volume is. That's going to be like your most efficient way, regardless of your price target. Your price target doesn't actually matter in options. I mean, it matters, but it's not like the contract selection actually matters a lot more. How far away from the money that you are, or like how wide we call it like bid ask spread. I'm sure there's something similar in futures too. This is my last call on these Tesla puts. And this sideways stuff, just don't want to be part of it because it'll just decay. So like stuff that I'm in. So we were adding to this position earlier. Yesterday was an add. Devin's a heavy position. Is doing good. These are just oil energy right now. Yeah, I think I might swing some of this. It's an update. We might get. We got 10 minutes till power hour. 60 SPX.
What trades are you in right now, Prophet?
So in my channel, so I'm in these Tesla 900 puts for tomorrow. So this is Tesla. It's just so Tesla, and I'm in Apple puts too.
Nice.
I need more momentum, right? So like for me, it's as simple as like breaking structure. So like
Mhm.
I enter short on lower highs, right? So if this is your high, high, lower high,
Mhm.
that makes sense. And then
Yeah.
if this is your structure, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Your structure, market structure, didn't break until it was here. So I wait for the market for the last low to
Mhm.
break. So if this is the last low, it broke, and then I'm going to enter on a lower high. If this was the high, then these are my entries here. You would have had another entry here. When it's this early and something that's as strong as Tesla, sometimes, um, you know, you can be, you got to be just be careful. But today, like my entry is here. Actually, was here at this red line,
Yeah.
and it's like the one, two, third higher low in a row, and it had already broken structure down here. So now I'm really what I'm looking for is I'm looking for this low to break, and that's the 900.
Mm. Dig it.
I don't need it to get down here because I do know that. So this red line is a 200-day moving average, and I have it locked on the daily. I don't use moving averages on like the interval charts. It's just that one time frame, so it's
Yeah.
always in the same place. Um, it's bouncing once, essentially twice, and now almost the third time on that 200-day moving average. So to me, I think this should flush below it if we can get it. It's a heavy ask, but that
Mhm.
would be in the next hour 10 to do this. Might be a heavy ask.
Yeah, it's definitely holding. I can see it. You have a nice
Yeah.
little kind of almost demand zone going down there.
Yeah. So that's why why I'm like, okay, I'm not really planning on holding this any longer than today. And so if it's today, like a day trade, it's just the absolute shortest date to expiration, and it's
Mhm.
closed at the end of the day. That's how it works. If you
Yeah.
buy anything longer, so swinging in this market, in this stock market, is pretty rough,
Mhm.
for the most part, just because there's so much inflation shenanigans and things turn on a dime all the time. So
Manipulation as best.
yeah, I mean, you getting more than a 36-hour, 72-hour sustained move is um, it's pretty hard. So for Tesla, here's really what I'm doing. Like I see this level at 904, which if Tesla does get to 904 today, this contract that I bought, my average is like 540, would
Mhm.
be like $800.
Mm.
Um, and profit in general, like I don't know how. Yeah, I used to trade a lot of crypto, but it wasn't. It was before futures even existed. um, but in options, it's like it's just about position sizing. Like your metrics can be great or whatever, and you could still lose your ass, right? Like you can have a 99% win rate, and you could still lose your ass, right? And
Of course.
there's only one thing that actually determines your real profitability, and that's position sizing, and it has nothing to do with the charts. It has nothing to do with how good or bad of a trader you are. You can have a 25% win rate and still be profitable, or 99% win rate and be unprofitable. So I
You're
think that's probably the biggest misconception. So like this is SLV in trading, and
absolutely. I agree with you
it,
100% there, man.
yeah, if it, yeah, I was gonna say I don't know because in crypto futures, you guys get some pretty heavy, like returns.
Yeah.
But it's not like just because you have a high percent return, it doesn't necessarily mean like you don't know how much money you put into that. Like you could have
Exactly.
$10 and have
Exactly.
a 10,000% return, but at the same time, you could have 10 other trades that were just like that had an 80% loss and still be profitable, right? Like
Mhm.
it's all depending on your position sizing. So
Exactly.
knowing the market and like what's going on, depending on what type of stock I'm in. So tech right now is a little overheated, right? Like tech right here, right now. See, I'm going to close. This is Tesla on this little bump, and this is how much time affects your contracts. They just went from 600 to 580. Percentage wise, that's a big amount. I know my 200 days right here, so I'm probably pushing it if it's gonna.
Mm.
If I'm in a trade, here's what I would say. If I'm in a trade, if I'm short, I'm constantly looking to see what would a trigger long be. Or if I'm in a long, I'm constantly just looking for what would a trigger short be, right? And so for this trade is still valid. It can go up here, but like timing is crucial. So now my trade just went negative.
Dude, that's one thing I couldn't stand about options, right? This is one reason why I left it and kind of switched over.
Yeah.
Was because I'm really good at getting direction, right? Following
Yeah.
direction, market structure. So, it's good for crypto where it's like you don't have an expiration,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Forex, any futures trading.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you'd probably kill it in like futures, like ES
Yes,
futures,
dude.
NES,
I did
NQ,
paper
whatever.
trading futures at the beginning, bro, and I murdered it, man. And that's what kind of brought me over to crypto because I was like, dude, I need a chart like this where I can, do 24 hours of charting and get the
Yeah.
direction down packed. But yeah, it was the Greeks, man. The Greeks would always kick my ass, bro. I would always just maybe grab the wrong contract.
Yep.
And expiration would come in, expire worthless, or if it's even going the direction that I planned it on, right? If I'm going puts and it's going down, all of a sudden, I'm not making any money on my contract, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, dude, the shit is going down. Like, what the hell's going on? So definitely threw me off, man. But
Yeah. So like that's why like I guess what's important in options is scaling.
yes,
Also, so like I can be negative on my initial trade, but because I trimmed over half up here already, like my P&L on Tesla for today is not negative, if that makes sense. So if this draws down a little bit, that's fine. But I don't want to see my net P&L for the day go negative.
I hear that.
And like today, we're just seeing this chop. It's like everything's gone red to green to red to green to red to green on the day. Well, I guess that's different than crypto, right? Like I don't know technically
Well,
when the crypto
no,
market
dude, Bitcoin has
starts.
been doing. I'm in a long on Bitcoin, bro, and it's just been the same thing. Nasty little drop, then followed by a good push up. Makes you think we're gonna come right back, and then
Yeah,
followed by immediate drop. The
yeah.
same
So
choppiness.
yeah, it's so to me like it's kind of like I don't know if you know like Wyckoff stuff, but like or like market structure in general. If something is just in a clear downtrend, right, but it doesn't flush to the downside, to me, it's going to come up immediately, and it's going to look because there's not enough sellers to push it down any further, if that makes sense. So it could be down, 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 and the second it kind of flatlines, it's got to come right back up, like shop here, right? It's down, 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 but it can't get any lower than this 36 whatever. So it has to go up here, right? And it should probably come up above this at some point, more likely into this area up here to collect more sellers before it can go down lower, right? So it's all that kind of stuff. We're all see, you know, I'm looking for that kind of like fake out move, right? So like SPY could not flush. So to me, okay, it's got to come up here, maybe even up here before it can go any lower. And I'll actually like legit trade for this stuff.
Love it, don't you, huh?
Yeah, I
Right.
mean it's just like what if you put yourself in the mind of a stock, right? What does it have to do?
Exactly. Gotta be
Yeah.
a madman like us to love doing this shit every day, man. I have such a passion for trading, bro. Like I've had many jobs, man. Many jobs all over, bro. Different things, school aid, from boat captain. And this
Oh,
has by
Captain.
far been my favorite, man. Favorite job I've ever had, dude.
Dang. Oh, Captain's hardcore, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that was badass. Dude, like being in the just me being in the ocean. That's my zen, man. That's when I'm like
Yep.
relaxed,
Mine too. Yeah.
fishing all day, man. I can do that, bro.
I feel you.
Apple. Where's Apple at? 174, man. I can't believe Apple was like one of the only stocks to really still push up while everything was kind of going down, no?
Yeah, yeah. It has no business being up here for sure. This is like Bitcoin at 100K, right? But or whatever.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you, man.
But right, like that doesn't matter, right? That's the hard thing for most
Yeah,
people when they transition to trading. Just because it doesn't belong up there doesn't mean it can't continue higher.
Exactly. You know what's one of my favorite sayings, bro? It's anything is possible. When they're like, no, but look, this is supposed to go down because we had bad news and it goes up. I'm like, guess
Oh
what, buddy? Anything is
no, I
possible
trade
when
the
it comes
crap
to
out of
trading.
that actually. So like if something's has bad news
Yeah.
and it doesn't go down, dude, I'm
Yeah.
long as hell.
Yeah. Oh
Like
yeah. You
straight,
have
like
to.
that's crazy bullish. If
Mm-hmm.
something has really good news and it
Mm-hmm.
goes down, I'm short. Like that's it. Like good news, bad price action is
Yeah.
super bearish, right? Bad news, good
Mhm.
price action, ultra bullish, like heavy bull.
Dude, it's crazy, but that's been the trend, man. It's been like, hey, go the opposite of the shit news, man. You know, you're gonna bank, and we have, man. We hit full. What is it? The FOMC. You know, it was
Yeah,
supposed
you
to, I
say.
think, go down. We played it the opposite, bro, and my guys banked, bro. Like we banked. Everybody was on the same page. You know, playing the opposite. Nobody was trying to, go with the flow of that, and we did it. You know, and that's the thing, man. You just gotta find these deals.
Yeah, that's the thing with options, it's not so much about direction, right? Like it is about direction, but it's more about timing and what the market perceives as the direction. And you I love options because I don't have to pick any direction at all to make money. Like I'll do trades all the time on things that are like I want this to go to the side, like straight flat line, and I
Mhm.
can clean house, right? Actually, I have one of those on Zoom right now.
You,
But
you know, I almost forgot about that, brother. You're absolutely right, man. Those are like what, like a butterfly.
yeah,
What are the
yeah,
different
iron
strategies
butterflies, iron
again?
condors, iron
Yeah,
butterflies, iron
dude.
condors. So I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
yeah, the thing is, you have to know when to put that on. Oh, that means it's time to look. Um,
Mhm.
you have to know when to put that on,
Of
and
course.
it's simple once you understand it. But like if you trade average ranges, like average true range, so like that's why I measure the what's an average weekly range for SPY or whatever, or an average daily range on something. Um, if something moves more than its average, like if it's a let's say something is a let's say there's a weekly average, and if something moves more than its average weekly range within a 24 to 36-hour period, it's gonna likely just go to the side from there. So a lot of people press bets in options, and that's probably like the worst time to do it because everybody else bought the breakout, right? Like they bought the breakout and they're like, it's gonna go, and then it just flatlines. And
Exactly.
it's not like you were, and then a week later, after your options expire, then it goes in your direction. But timing was everything, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, there are ways to have positions pay you to hold them. I kind of feel like $100 on AMD is similar, right? Like that. What is this doing up here?
Mhm.
um, actually, yeah. So
AMD.
like,
I'm trying to see if AMD has a little market structure break right there on that
oh, it
up.
does. So here's a high, here's a lower
Mhm.
high, right? And
They got a double top.
yeah, and you've already broken this structure here, right? I'm not a pattern trader, but I know that a lot of people are, so I might draw the pattern here if you
Yeah.
wanted to. I don't really go for that. But what you do is that so my short was actually my first short was here, right here. And it's do you know what smart money concepts is?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so smart money concept. I'm gonna find the last high and then take the candle right below the last high, or
Mm-hmm.
even maybe like this low.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the uptrend, right, I want to find the last low of the most recent uptrend,
Mm-hmm.
and that's 101.50, and that's where I want to short. And we're right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're right there. So this whole section here is shortable to me. And that's why I like my entries here. But
So do you recommend smart money concept? Because I have some of the guys that posted a few videos in the chat. I think I pinned it too. Something
yeah,
that
yeah,
it's in the books,
yeah,
man.
dude, that's stuff that's like how to be a sniper situation.
Nice.
But so
Hey, so that'll enhance it. Nice.
here's the deal, right? In
Yeah.
smart money, so most people will trade a breakout, or and if they're in a trade, they'll do whatever, right? Like they'll
Mm-hmm.
wait for the reversal. So let's
Yeah.
say if you're shorting using SMC or inner circle trading ICT, right? This is your trade. Your risk reward at least 8, right? So here to here. So this is your max pain. Like this is your risk level. Other people would wait till this thing breaks. And the problem with that is that they have to have a stop all the way up here also.
Yep.
And they're only going here. So their risk reward is 2, right?
Yeesh.
And
Yep.
then like once you think about it that way, that's the difference right there between a 50% and 100%. And then if it reverses on them, it's the same thing in reverse. Let's say it does this, right? And they get the trade, right? In smart money concepts, a trigger long is just, it's very similar. It's just doing this up to here, right? But a normal trader, so that's smart money concepts right there. It's the low, the next higher low, you go long on the next higher low after a break in structure. So low, break, whatever. Other traders wouldn't be able to close their short. So this is essentially like closing your short. Other traders wouldn't have done it until they have a stop hit right there. And so the difference, this is the difference. So the difference would be, let's see, realistically, 0 to right this way. The difference would be from here to here, and I could take these boxes off. From here to here, which is 3.8% using that, or here to here. These are your differences.
Nice.
So 3.8% here versus 1.5%. You're literally doubling your P&L.
Yeah.
And your risk is cut in half if you understand those kind of order blocks and things.
Yeah. I like it, man. This is what I wanted to see from you, man. I love to see each and every trader that we get in here chart, bro. Like, this is what I tell my guys, right? It's not about, most of my guys are crypto guys, right? We love crypto. You know, we have a few stock guys, we have a few options, a few Forex. We're all majority crypto. That doesn't mean that we can't look at a person like yourself that trades options, trades stocks, right? Well, we can still learn from you. I'm learning right now as you speak, you know, like we can still, you know, develop different strategies. Like, and again, I tell them, my guys, this all the time. I'm like, you know what? Pick apart each and every guy I'm going to bring you here. Pick them apart, you know, pick them apart, learn what you can from them, you know, discard whatever you don't like. But at the end of the day, your goal as a trader is to gather everything you know, from all the traders you learn from and make your own formula. You know, that's how I did it, right? Like I've met a shitload of traders in the last 2 years, man. You know, being in Discord, jumping from server to server, and, you know, jumping on these lives and asking questions. I always ask questions no matter what, because I want to know this, you know. And if I got somebody that's a little more experienced than me, then I'm going to ask questions, right? But the whole point is to, you know, get all these ideas from everybody. And my trading style is pretty much that. It's a mix of everything I've learned from all the different people that I've come across, the brightest minds that I've come across, you know, all in one, right? Like into my style. So again, just because you guys don't, you know, necessarily trade stocks and options doesn't mean you can't pick this man's, you know, trading apart. And, you know, from what I'm seeing, he has a good thing going. He has a really good thing going, you know. So learn from him, you know. Ask questions also, guys. I'm one to always talk, man. So if you guys have any questions, please unmute yourselves. Ask this man. He's here for you guys. All right.
Yeah, no, I think it's funny. I don't come from Discord at all. Like I come from, I came to Discord from like very old school trading groups, like market making trading groups and stuff. And I mean, really, I saw a whole different generation of traders over here. So to me, it was like, you know what? The guys I was trading with before, they're like the crazy OGs that you'll see on like TV and stuff. See here, shop doing exactly what we were looking for. I like that. But yeah, they're too technologically illiterate to really get it. I don't think they'll ever make it into Discord. So for me, it was like, you know what? I actually saw a bunch of stuff that I was like, this is wild. Some of the things I was seeing in Discord. So I was like, I'll come and check it out. And then it just kind of led into something else. But yeah, the trading styles I'll use are pretty, they're pretty established. Like I use a combination of 3, which is the easiest thing to use as a description is called the strat, but it's essentially candlesticks, right? Like 2 to 3 candlestick setups. But if you use something called the strat, it just makes candlesticks way easier. that's a whole training and stuff. I can shoot you guys videos. But so it's the strat as how to find my trades, and then once I know what I want to trade, then it is like the smart money concepts, inner circle trading type of executions. Once I know the general levels that I'm looking for certain things to happen on, because for options I need to be right on the time, and I need to be right. I need momentum. Momentum's required. So if I can't be in a trade and just have something like melt up in the direction or down in the direction of my trade, that's not good enough. So like a day like today, this is pretty shitty. Even though Tesla's coming down today, like this is the option. The option ain't doing that, right? Like the option is basing on for, well, Tesla, the stock is like, okay, new low, that's here. It's not, the option is not making new lows like the stock. And that's just because of time decay. So anyway, so smart money concepts, execution, the strat, daily, weekly, monthly levels. Before I take any of these trades, it's always my analysis view is at least this. So it's at least a weekly look, a daily look, an hourly look, and then I'll have typically a 15-minute up here, and I want to see like a week or two worth of data on something like this before I make a trade.
Love it. Love that. Love that.
Yeah, so always a multiple time frame analysis first, and then these lines I have are actually automated. So these lines are, remember I said daily, weekly, monthly levels. These are actually also quarterly levels. So if I take these off, these red lines are a 3-month high and low. Yellow lines are 1 month high and low. Blue lines are 1 week high and low. And if I just do a quick replay, they'll actually move with the chart like automated. So that way it helps me keep everything in line. So like these are the key levels. So but what's important is that for stocks, you can see, look, whenever you get to these levels, forever, they're going to create a lot of momentum. And so that's why those are the ones, I don't know if you saw that bounce right off that. That's why these are the ones that matter to me in terms of option trades. That's where I have to have momentum. But oh yeah, dude, this SLB trade is just flying. Yeah, so I just drew a line on AMD. So this is like exactly smart money concepts. I don't know if you guys saw me put this here, but this came here before this was there. It was because of, if this was coming up, it's the last low right before the last high. See how it works? It's like almost like exact all the time. So like if you miss that short, well then your next short entry is the same thing. It's the last low right before the last high. And then if you were to go long, funny enough, if you were to go long and you see a break in structure, so if this is a break in structure here, so high, low, low, if this is your high, something here, right? And then you have even to the smallest, like this is a 1 minute chart, doesn't matter. It works on all time frames. Like here's your structure. Once you broke this structure, then you actually look for one of these two lows right before the last low, the higher low right before the absolute low for a long entry after you break structure. And it would look like something like this is what you'd be looking for on an entry here. And then that's basically it. And that's your kind of range. Yeah, you got it. Still ranging. That would be another short entry. Dude, this thing is just, I need more momentum though. This is probably good stuff on futures. need bigger moves for options. No fun. You got 45 minutes. Lots of stuff can happen in 45 minutes. Oh, it looks like we might be going higher. You guys trade like Coinbase and that kind of stuff? No. Huh. Like it'd be dumb to trade a crypto derivative when you can just trade crypto. Huh? A lot of people in stock world, it's funny. Like they're like, dude, what do you think about trading? I don't know, like name your crypto mining company here for a crypto move. And I'm like, why wouldn't you just buy crypto? Like,
Which are the ones that they usually play on there? Damn, what are the
oh man, there's so many. It's like
the
hut
blockchain
mining.
ones? Yeah.
Hut mining. They're usually like crypto miners, like Coin is one. Oh God.
And there's one that I'm trying to remember, bro. That every time Bitcoin would go down, they're like, "All right, dude,
Mara,
let's full port
right?
this one."
Marathon,
Mara. Oh, dude,
Mara
I hate
and
Mara.
Riot.
Oh,
Mara
Riot.
and Riot.
You just brought back memories, man. Mara and Riot. The one Riot I think I did better on. Mara would always kick my ass, dude. Every time, Bitcoin would go up, I'm like, yeah, let me buy fucking Mara, and it would never comply.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm like, dude, just buy crypto.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, Tesla's just going sideways. Bitcoin doing the same. It's having pumps, fucking dumps. That's sideways day for sure.
Yeah, it's how's the crypto market today? The same?
Yeah, pretty much, brother, man. It's a lot of these alts, I mean, they're not really moving. The whole watch list is all red, kind of go with your trend. But the most part, you still have a few green. Bitcoin is, again, it's just going sideways, man. Like really sideways right now. Not much movement at all in the market.
Here's my whatever list.
When are we gonna get you to switch over? And I'm always asking you that, right?
No, I have a pretty heavy crypto portfolio, but dude, it's so I'll pick up stuff like Sol and below 40 if I can. So I'm more of like a hyperscale layer one focused only. If that makes sense. Like that's all I own anymore. Like I was thinking about out of here, but it's already doing the thing. Probably should have loaded here, but I mean we have a little bit of fair value, I guess, to 16.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Did you own any Luna?
Luna?
Yeah.
Well,
the crypto coin Luna.
Yeah. It's like delisted on most of the stuff that I trade.
Yeah, the one that plumped from 90 to $0.
Yeah. I actually think that was like a. Do you guys have Bruce in here? Did Bruce come and do his thing?
Not yet, no.
Yeah, Bruce nailed that freaking short on Luna, like
Oh, dude,
at the peak.
I
Yeah.
hit that. I hit it for a record, bro. That was my record day. I made 2,000 percenters in one day. My guy playing the short on that. If I
Oh
would have
yeah.
held the first one, that would have been up to like 3,000-4,000%, bro. But
Yeah.
yo, record breaking day that day, man. Never forget that day.
Dude, well, all of this is kind of like, so what do we have? I guess I'm just scrolling through like my short list shenanigans. Luna is Lena now, right?
No, Luna. Yeah, Luna is another one.
Oh, it's
Luna
just
might not even
different
come
version.
up because Luna was, taken off from a lot of
Yeah.
platforms because it plunged to death. Then they
Yeah.
try to add the Luna 2.0 and the 3.0.
Yeah, I actually kind of felt a little bad for that because that I don't think it was all them, but yeah, most of my stuff here is mostly like through SAFs. You guys know what that is? More like private placement stuff. I just don't have the time to trade both markets.
It's tough. It's tough. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's tough.
Yeah, even the ICO market has been pretty whack. Like, dude, what? This is NFT token, so it's like this to me. Like, if this is going, then I would assume data is too. Jeez,
But USDTP.
USDTP.
Yeah, put data and then USDT and then P for perpetual, and it should come out for like Binance or anyone. I'm just
Oh, yeah, is OKX.
yeah.
Yeah, I usually just look at the asset itself, but typically I'll just do Binance because they're usually the most liquid. This is not going. Kind of already went, but interestingly, if this was gonna bounce, so if this is your low, right, and if I want to look for the high right before the low, it just tagged it. From that's like smart money concept kind of levels, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
So from a candlestick perspective, this inside candle, I wouldn't, if it was a stock, I wouldn't take it long until it breaks above 142. Because that's when for sure, right? If I have a net new candle over here, right? I don't think anybody would argue that it's going to at least here, and then more likely than not, I just need to see continuation from there. So if that's the daily, let me just sync this. It's right here, this level. One tag. All right. And I'm just drilling down just like this. So one tag. It's going to be here, would be like just the low right before the last low. This is now a higher low. I would actually take this. but it's, yeah, your targets would just be, okay, target here, and up to here. I don't know if that's going to be enough money. This is my 900 foot. I'm still watching these things. It doesn't look like enough volume. I have these things down here on the bottom for like volume. It's not regular volume bars, but it's just like I need to see that come in. Dude, does this not look like a legitimate long? Am I crazy?
Yeah. I mean, look, you have a nice demand zone right on the bottom, almost like what BTC is doing, which is why I kind of got on that.
Yeah.
It's giving you the sideways, but it's also showing you that it's holding, right?
Yeah.
So,
So,
unless you get that break from the bottom, kind of really good position and kind of long that.
yeah, so here's the so Wyckoff is, I do use Wyckoff. Wyckoff is legit. It's just a picture, man. Um I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It's literally just a like It's just a schematic. It's just that. If I were to take this, copy this, and then probably go to a 1 hour.
Brother, I don't know if you saw it too. I just got a notification not too long ago from Baron saying Kathy Woods sold some Tesla stock, just not in the way you would expect. I don't know if that's gonna help or you know.
Nah, I mean it's not. She doesn't have enough of a position there. So like,
Jeez. Ooh, I never seen this.
so this is all it is. It's literally just memorizing a schematic, and like see how it like more often than not, like you can kind of put this together. But if this had broke structure, here's your structure, upside structure, right? Your range. It's your trading range. It's not the breakout that you take. It's the one after the breakout that's back inside here that ends up being a higher low, which it would be right here. After you have this consolidation, they call like a creek. But it's just, it's not, it doesn't have to match the picture, but it's the components of it, right? So you have a flush down. We didn't get this flush down yet. So this might end up being the creek. So yeah, the flush down would be like just below. And then, see. Anyways. All those things combined. I don't think there's enough volume to make a trade here. I wouldn't want to sit in a, even if it was a futures contract that would be less, I really wouldn't want to sit in a trade over however many days that might take. That would be very boring.
What would the potential target be for if you would have taken a trade there
So
using the Wyckoff strategy?
using Wyckoff, so really, I think realistically, most people, most traders that are like professional traders, they'll have a general target. Your target would be here, 230. But like most traders will do that, I know at least, will use like their own risk to reward. Like if I'm going to hold a trade, I mean, if you're a professional trader, you're not really doing positional stuff. So it's not, they're not usually very long trades. Wyckoff would be one of those longer term ones, but you could measure it. I don't really want to tell you exactly what it would be because I don't necessarily believe in that part of it. If that makes sense. You can get, if you hold too long, that's no fun. But really, you just take like the zone and layer it right on top. If you wanted to do a measured move.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. So like measure move here. Call it from your entry, or even up to here. Oop, and it would be this guy right there. That way.
Yeah, makes sense.
Most of the stuff I see everybody doing for crypto though is pretty quick trades. Also, do you guys have like investor styles, or how do most of the traders use it? Oh no, Apple's going higher. That is for sure. Shorts. Guess I gotta wait for 167 almost on Apple. Actually short it. What day is it? Thursday? 8/18. AMAT Deer Raw Stores. Dude, this is just a melty situation. Everything is just straight sideways. I got some other stuff I gotta close out real quick. Dude, the chop. Look at that. That is dumb.
Oh shit! We finally got some movement on Bitcoin for once. Oh man.
Yeah,
Ooh.
we just like SPY just started moving.
Yeah, that's probably.
It hasn't broken a range yet.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like nothing to get too excited about, right?
Right. Like my this is probably my heaviest position.
Ooh.
This one I'm looking to build into. I like this actually as a company. Like potential. I like this like for like a lower downside, and it's that same kind of setup, right? Where like it's chopped in this range, it's ready, like it's had enough breathing room to do this. If it already did its first breakout, as long as this is another, as long as this ends up being like either a double bottom or lower high, this level right here
That's a beauty right there. Shit.
is what I was looking at as an entry, right? So kind of like this would be like another Wyckoff thing where it's like, look, it couldn't flush below this 36. It got there just barely, but it immediately bounced right back off or right back up off of it. So there's more buyers than sellers right here to me. And the downside risk on a trade like this, it's not like you have to have a stop here. This would be like a 12 plus month hold, like an equity position though. And so like sometimes I'll start an equity position by maybe trading some very short-term options just so I don't risk a ton of cash up front.
Yeah. Kind of like the risk to reward on that, even from where it's at right there, right?
No, yeah,
Where-
absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like I started buy shares for sure. I sent to my group like, yeah, like this is a time, this is a level to buy more, like to be a buyer, because it's your risk to reward. Like this is a good company.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but it's a legitimate company. Yeah, it's a legitimate company that people use every day. They just, they had a lot of COVID priced into it, but at this level, I mean, it's a damn good deal. And
dude, look at the growth on that shit though, man. Like zoom back out, look at the growth before it broke that. What line is that? That's a EMA.
This is the 200-day.
The 200, dude. Look at the growth, man. It was growing beautifully, and I'm sure that's when COVID happened because everything went to shit, right? You can't even blame that for coming down, So it's a great company, man. Whenever I see a daily uptrend like that, where you see nothing but growth, and you're gonna see pullbacks, people taking profits, but as long as it's showing you a nice incline like that, it's a good company. It's something that you definitely want to look into long term for sure.
Yeah, and I think this is obviously building a base regardless. And so like this period of time is like months. So the base here is, how long is this? So we're here to realistically here. 105 days. So like 3.5 months. It's more than enough time to build a base of investors for sure, which this happens to be COVID lows also. Or no, this is 2000. When's the COVID low? What the hell was it? This was COVID low? I think this was the COVID low. Right here.
Hold on. Was it 22?
March 2020.
Wait a minute. So even during COVID, that shit took off like that?
This took off because of COVID.
Oh, that's right.
And I think that's I think all of this, because this is the platform that if you wanted to start a business, you want to build a website like e-commerce. If you want to get into e-commerce, you use Shopify. And so a lot of that might have been priced in here. And their growth is like so they're going from 20-30 million a quarter in I'm sorry. Hello. So 500 million here, net revenue, 400 million there. All of a sudden 700 million, right? 760. So almost $1 billion. 988. $1 billion, right? And so 1.2 billion is like the peak. 1.3 billion, they're still growing, right? 1.2 billion, 1.3 billion, the very last quarter reported. The problem that most of the Wall Street seen is that this earnings, because they invested heavily during COVID, and so now that COVID was kind of over, it's like they had all this excess like expenses that they've been cutting, and so at this level, I think that's overly priced in. Like that's probably priced in a little too much of it.
So that was the drop. The drop was it COVID supposedly being over, already being contained.
Yeah, COVID's over. November.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense now. Shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's not like this company's going anywhere.
Exactly.
anytime soon.
Nah, man, they all have to find their bottom. You know, the market's still been rough, both sides. You know, it's things will bounce back, man. Just the economy is just still kind of a little shit right now.
Look at SPY new highs, dude. That's wild.
Oh, SPY. That means that'll push up Bitcoin. Let's go. This is why I like to look at both markets, man. To be honest, dude, like as much as I still want to dabble in options, but just looking at stocks and SPY, and it gives me a good notion on Bitcoin, man. Like every time I see SPY doing his thing, closes green, I look at Bitcoin, it pushes right, like throughout the day, or vice versa. If SPY closes red throughout the day, then Bitcoin, starts coming down, man. Like they correlated, man. I used to say this a lot.
Yeah, I think it's just general investors' mentality: risk on or risk off, right? Do they think that are they looking to add risk, or are they not? That's why the Dixie is so important, right? Dixie goes up, it's like risk off. In this market, there are like pockets in the market that people are investing in, and that's going to be like your energy and your oil sectors right now. It's not necessarily like your ultra tech stocks, but at the same time, like something like a Shopify, which would fit that bill, that ultra like tech, like high growth tech stock. What they're not doing is that they're not dumping anymore. So back to like, you're a stock. If you can't go lower, you have to go higher, regardless, right? Even if you're like ultra bear on something, if it's not going lower, I mean, it's gonna go higher. It's just what is that momentum? What is the velocity, and like how much higher?
I agree.
Yeah, certain sectors. This is like not Disney. US 30 diamonds. This is industrials as a sector here. Probably like a Boeing. Shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
About those lines, those automated lines. How you do
Yeah.
that? Is an indicator or what?
Yeah. So my buddy wrote this called the Strat Teach V2. So the Strat is it's like an established. Kenny, can I send a video?
Yeah, brother. Go ahead. You want to throw it in? What is it? Chat, the regular GVT chat.
Yeah, I could do it.
And it's
So
a
like
free.
you
It's a
guys will
free.
have this soon, but in right now we haven't started the new series. But so what Kenny has set up for you is essentially, so I like I said, I come from like an older generation of traders. Like honestly, the groups that I used to trade with are it's one of the groups is it's $5,000 for 3 months just to be hang around. So it's not here. So here's the video right there, and there's a group called the Sepia Group that came up with this strategy, and that dude that I brought in for an interview, he works for them. So if I'm gonna go over strategy, it's like I'll find like the best person that I know that knows it, and ideally straight from the source. So that dude, he is. If you go to Sepia Group. Sepia Group. So the reason I'm even going through this right now is like you got to understand the purpose of it first. That's OG's, and he's like, this is where they came up with the strat. So understand the concept first, and then, God, this thing is still going. I can't believe it. Inside, this is TradingView. Just search, right? Just type the strat. It's the strat teach version 2. It's super customizable. But my like most of this I have all turned off. If you just open it up default, it's gonna look crazy. So there's like candlestick numbers. I just use these higher time frame levels, and it's essentially 3 month, 1 month, 1 week, and 1 day. These are the 4 that I have turned on. And then these little boxes at the bottom of my screens, that's something called time frame continuity. And like when you hear people say trade with the trend, if you're looking at smaller time frames in general, or any time frames that's not like years long, you don't always know what the overall trend is. So what this is telling you is that on an hourly basis, the trend is green. Daily is green. The week, it's green, right? The month, it's green. The quarter, it's green. The year, it's red. It's green, right? And so, like, if I'm shorting, let's say Tesla, if I'm shorting, I know on the year it's red, and I know on the week, month, and quarter it is green, but the hourly and the daily are red. So for me, if this is like 50-50 time frame continuity, the point is your strongest trades and your best trends are when the majority of the time frames that you can see on a chart are all in the same direction. So meaning it's green on the week, it's green on the month, it's green on the day, it's green on the hour, right? Like you want to be long. You don't want to be shorting that, if that makes sense. Like Apple, probably dumb, right? It's red on the year, but it's green on the quarter, it's green on the month, it's green on the week, it's green on the day, it's green on the hour. What are you doing being short? Right? Like that's like that's really what that's looking at.
Can I ask
But
you
they call
something?
this like full time frame continuity.
Do you
But this
know
is
how it determines the trend? Is it based on higher highs and higher lows, or?
no. So like if I were to look at a monthly candle, the candle for this month is green, right?
Oh,
If I were
okay.
to look at a weekly candle, the candle for this week is green, right? The daily candle
Yeah, okay.
is green. The hourly candle is green. That's really it, right? Like you could pull up, I don't know, a 365-day candle, and you want to know, like, okay, it's green, or
Yeah. Okay, makes sense.
or a quarterly candle. It's not towards the low of the quarter. It's going actually. So this one of the reasons, like here, this one, if you look on a quarterly basis, it's sitting at $30, but your target would be more like 50. Even here, you have hammer and just now breaking green. Even though that specific chart looks like it's maybe overdone for the day, if you didn't know, it looks strong today, but this is the same setup that I was just showing you guys on shop, right? It's the same. This is one of my primary setups, is that it's this big long, this is a 2-month base, right? Where I know it's not going down, or maybe it's a 2-month top. I know it's not going up, right? And then coming in towards the end of the trend, right? Like this in June, July, August, 2 months ago was $50. 2 months ago. Nothing changed fundamentally from this for this company. It just happens to be this recent market pullback. I have a broken structure here. So lower high, lower low, lower low, lower low. Here's the last high. Even if you went as far back as to say that this was the last high, well, look where my entry is. It was actually, my last entry was yesterday. This was yesterday. Here's this high, here's this low above the last low, which is above even the last low. And so if we break, so here, entering here, your first target is really here, and I did close some, but I want to keep a lot of my position on at the same time, because it's not, what's true is it's not going down yet. Does it mean it's going to break out today? No, not necessarily. It looks strong at the moment, but could it easily pull back and still be in an uptrend? Yeah, you betcha. But it would just be another high or higher low, and sooner than later, this will start to go. So depending on your options position or things like that, it's critical to be able to position correctly and pick the right strikes. And like King was saying, like your series, the expirations are called series. But yeah. And then like I have these green dots. This is for volatility stuff. So this is, a lot of people know what like average true range is. I don't actually use average true range. I do use something called average daily range. So for options, the pricing model is more or less dictated by what's called the standard deviation, or options are priced based on the probability of something expiring at the money on expiration. So how they get probability is based on how much a stock moves on an average day. And so if a stock has a bigger than average move, well, the options pricing model actually has to factor that. So it'll factor it live in real time, and things will start to get more expensive. Like even though the price might not be moving. So if SLB or Lumberjay, I call it Slav, whatever, were to go above 37.50 today, then the options on that specific underline would actually all jump in value. Whether or not it's a put or a call, it doesn't matter. It's like if you look at Bed Bath and Beyond or GME or AMC, any of the meme stocks when they're flying, like sometimes you'll be in a situation where you're like, you might be short, you might have a put, and the stock is going up like violently. If it's gone violently outside of its average range, well, even though you might own puts, those puts will gain value. And you're like, what's going on? That is 100% because the option chain is pricing in a larger, like it has to refactor what the average daily range is now, because now, the average 30-day move was $2, but it just moved $30 in the last 24 hours. So the probability of it closing at or below said strike is higher now. So they have to price that in. But anyway, sorry. That's the crazy stuff with options. It's still going. I'm just gonna take all of my short puts on. So I have a position on SLB2. I have two positions. One is a position that actually says I actually don't need it to go up. One is a position where it's called a bull put spread. I could actually make money, or Kenny and I were just saying you could make money if it just goes sideways. One of those positions I have is one where I didn't care if it went up. I was going to make money if it just goes, if it just doesn't go down. So I'm going to take that one down. And it was 25 right now. Take another one. A little bit more. Yeah, like 9 minutes left. Day. Dude. I'm very irritated with Apple. Pulled all the way back.
I was wondering why your charts were moving fast, and I just saw you put 30 seconds. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Never tried the 30-second chart before.
No, it's just it's momentum, right? Like I
Yeah.
need if I can look at a 15-minute candle, like actually a 15-minute chart is more realistic for most people, and
Yeah.
I think that's a good time frame to watch, generally speaking. But if you're day trading, you need to see exactly when, like to the second, sometimes like where they're stepping in or not. A lot of people use like a 3-minute. I don't know if you've ever used a 3-minute.
Yeah, I've dabbled in the lowest. I mean, I've even Chris. So Chris was in here the other day, and even he put me on to the whole 1 minute, man. I was always so opposed to it, bro. I'm like, dude, you guys got to be crazy trading.
No. Yeah, he's not wrong, and neither are you, right?
Yeah.
So what's true is like I just went through this. Like you don't look at a freaking chart until you've done your multiple time frame analysis, right? Like if you're gonna take this seriously, there's no way that Crisp is looking at a chart without knowing exactly what is not. He's not looking at a 1 minute chart without knowing exactly what these larger charts, time frame charts, look like.
Absolutely.
Nobody's wasting their time on that. It's that's where it gets the difference between like someone that's new and trying to just learn it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Usually, so my strategy is I love the hour frame. I love the hour time frame. I used to I try to look for my trend breaks or even trends on the hour, and then go scale down to the 5, 15 for better entry. And even like I said, after his class, I took into the 1 minute the other day, and I got a really good entry. I was like, holy shit, it worked. So again, it's something new, something different. I'll try it every now and then, and if it starts to work, then I'll work it.
Yeah, so like that smart money concept stuff, it only works on a 1 minute. Like you can't find it. You can't find those precision entries and exits without looking at a 1 minute.
Gotcha.
And those are like you can look. If you want to do a day trade, you can use 15 as your main after and only after you've already looked at the larger time frames. But if you want to find a precision entry, you have to be on a smaller time frame, like a 1.
Gotcha.
Look at this chop.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm looking at SPY, and it's making me want to close my Bitcoin. I already see that big red candle coming in, which means it's only going to trickle down to Bitcoin. I'm almost at break even right now, and I'm just not feeling it. There's certain times where if you're looking at a chart and it's just not breaking certain levels, man, you just got to let it go. Either get it out of break even, look for another chart. I don't know, like this. It's one of those emotional things, right? Where it's like, all right, you don't want to let your emotions play into it. But when you're staring at the same chart for past hours and it's not moving, it's only going sideways, kind of drives you crazy, man. What am I going to do with this Bitcoin?
Yeah, I got to go through and close out all kinds of stuff. 4 minutes. At least Tesla went down.
Yeah, dude, the market is just choppy today, man. Like, extremely choppy, just straight sideways.
Yep. I'm gonna move one of these Apple. Look at how wild these things move at the very end.
Always, man. Freaking 3 minutes left.
Yep.
Yeah, Bitcoin was looking so good, and now it's just going right back to shit. Oh man, it's gonna be one of those days, bro. Oh boy.
So yeah, so like this is Devon Energy, this is oil stock, energy stock, SLB. I'm also gonna swing like a very so when I say swing, so swing just means overnight trade, um, in options, but it I'll usually do. Do you guys have Duke in here, Kenny?
No, I don't think I have Duke yet. I've seen him in a few servers. Definitely on the list, but not
Duke's
yet.
one of the guys that trades with me too, but he does it right. Also, is like when if you want to decide to open something for an overnight hold, like for a longer term hold, first possibly, you want to open it right now in the market because at the close, that's when volatility is actually the lowest, and it's highest at the open. So that alone will give you just a slight edge. There's typically a gap. It doesn't like if the gap might be to the upside, it might be to the downside. It doesn't really matter. But if there's any gap between the close and the open, you have your option prices are actually elevated. And so trading options like that, opening at the close, closing at the open, will give you an edge. And even if the trade goes slightly against you, you won't get crushed because you do have that edge.
I hear that.
So if I do have a swing channel right in here, so if you see something like that, just like the swings, I just move something over the swings. It'll literally be opened in like the last 30 minutes. And if I send it as a swing and I send it earlier, I'll try and send a handful of easy ones, not like multi-leg stuff. It's if I send it earlier in the day where there's like multiple hours, don't ever feel rushed to open it like right away. It's to be like decide what you're gonna do with it at the close. Just know that hey, look, I'm looking at this trade to open at the close. It might be $100 now, and it might be $70 or $50 at the close. It's still gonna be a trade. So you might have saved yourself a couple bucks by waiting to the actual close.
Yeah, brother, I have a question in the live chat. Yoko Boutique is asking, does Apple and Spy Chart always matching together? Like, are they always?
Not always.
That's a good question.
Oh,
That's a good question.
well, not always, but there is a saying, as goes Apple goes to the market. And it's not untrue. It's very similar to watching Ethereum while trading your alts, if that makes sense. Like if Bitcoin is static, stable, right? But Ethereum is going up. So this is my typical chart, right? Like, oop, that is not the right. Is it Ethereum to BTC? Yeah, this chart. So this is like, how do I know, like, if I want to be, for me, if I want to rotate out of what would essentially be the equivalent of small caps to large caps, like I call Bitcoin and Ethereum like the majors, like layer one, major layer one hyperscale stuff like Solana, Avalanche, that kind of stuff. So like Bitcoin will be your alpha, meaning like it's going to have the most stable trend, but your alts, right? Like you guys know, like fuck Bitcoin when it's alt season, right? Like, is that cool to say? I don't know, but but that's the truth, right? Like, why would you want to be sitting there with Bitcoin when the alts are flying, right?
Exactly.
Like Bitcoin goes to the moon, but the alts go to freaking Jupiter, right? Like that's how it is. But at the same time, when Bitcoin pulls back or Ethereum pulls back, the alts will like dump 10x harder, right? So that's like called beta, right? In stocks, like what stock has a higher beta? So if your indices or your general market cap, so like total market cap, total crypto market cap. So here's your market cap of all crypto. Do you guys use this chart too?
Yeah.
So like this is your total crypto market cap. If this is trending down, right? Like Bitcoin's not likely to have the same kind of pullback as maybe like what's a you trade people?
Yeah,
What the hell is people, by the way? I don't even know what that is.
bro.
Is
Bro,
it
90% of these coins, my guy, I'd be lying to you if I knew what they actually were, their market cap. I love charts, bro. If it has a
Yeah,
nice chart and I can I can draw lines and make some
Yeah.
good trades, man, I'm on it, bro. But
Yeah.
people is one of those, man. So some days it's running beautifully, on other days it's just
I mean, this is a beautiful downtrend, right?
yeah, oh yeah.
But same thing. Okay, if this is your last low, somewhere around here, this ain't turning up yet. Last high before the last low. Be somewhere in here. Oh, it is basing. Bottom. Are we going long, people? We gotta wait for a signal, right? What do you use for like your actual trigger? So my actual trigger, by the way, is like a 2 to 3 candlestick setup is what I would tell you. And that's a minimum of 15-minute 2 to 3 candlestick setup. Like I want to see an inside bar, really.
Me, I want to see it break that downtrend, bro. It has a nasty lower highs, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it hasn't yet.
lower highs. Oh yeah. Want to see it break that downtrend, maybe.
Well, but you're probably gonna short when it does, huh?
Mm.
Only because you'd be like a legit trader, right? Like the legit ones short when on the first breakout. Just what happens.
Mm.
They're always fake, right?
Dude, 90% of the times it's always we gotta wait for the retest, man. I like to now.
Yep.
I've been getting better at waiting for the retest, but at the
Yep.
beginning, bro, oh man, I used to jump on the minute I see a breakout. Not even
It's the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's that patient stuff, right? It's like it's 10 times worse with options because everybody and their mother buys the breakout and they bid up the contracts. Like if you could imagine, like if people had the ability to bid up a futures contracts because everybody thinks it's breaking out, like that's actually what happens in options. And then like here's your, let's say if you were drawing your lines, let's say you thought this was the trend, right? And you were only using these, something like that. And then you saw it going, okay, I got a level here. This is a weekly prior week low, low base, and it broke. And you're like, oh, this looks good to go long right here. Like you might immediately rejected, dude. Like so typical to slap right in your face.
Oh my god! Look at that drop, dude.
So never take the first breakout. Never ever. More often than not, short it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Smart. I like that.
is that funny?
just
how it works.
Dude, I've experienced, bro. You know how many times I've been on trades like that, man? And again, at the beginning, right? Like it's a process, you know. I try to tell these guys, man, and nothing is you know, you're not gonna hit 100% your first week trading, right? It's all about learning from your mistakes.
And it's all about that
was one of my
sizing.
big mistakes. Oh yeah, dude, that was one of my big mistakes. Man. I was just always jumping in anything that would break over. I wouldn't even wait for the candle to close over. I would get, the wick would come out, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna break. Jump on it and instant reversal, But learn from mistakes.
So like check this out, right? This is something super similar that you'll see in equities all the time too. Like it's just one of those situations where it doesn't matter what you're trading, right? These scenarios play out on all assets across all industries. So like you get a breakout, you would have had to have taken that breakout here. And where most people mess up is that your target is just the prior high, which should have been right there. And if once that's hit, it's just the top of that candle. So if you weren't taking profit, that's why when someone was asking about targets earlier, I was like, you can do these measure move things, but all of that stuff will more often than not get you in a lot of trouble. So if a lot of people like that do Forex, like it's just sizing is based on a percentage of your account. So if you risk X percent, then you want to make X times 2%. And it's simple as that. But liquidity was one of those other things too. Is like, even if you waited for the retest right here, so this went up and it retested here, and you would have said, okay, from a systematic like perspective, if I'm using smart money concepts, this is exactly that same low, right? And your stop is exactly here. So this risk reward is good. But if you were to play this trade out, right, if you didn't get ready to close, and if you weren't able to execution, right? See that? Like, if you weren't able to quickly stop, and that's probably, this is interesting here. This situation is exactly everyone. The reason this happened, without a doubt, is because everyone who did take that long position on the retest had their stops where, right? Their stops were right there, and that's why it flushed. No other reason outside of exactly that. It's like the people that took the retest, like they were going, if you didn't take quick profits, the reason it flushes, once they get that bounce, where does their stop loss be? Like, what becomes their stop loss? Their entry becomes their stop loss right here once they're in profit. And the second that broke, it's like slap. You're done. But yeah, if you're like, I don't know how it works, like what exchanges have the most liquidity, but that is what you got to be careful of whenever you're entering a position. Just be able to get out right there, and always move your stops up, I guess. Is that similar? I'm sure that's similar. This is your equity or your crypto, man.
Can't wait to see you join us, man, and we get that new Paper Profits crypto bot.
Jeez. Yeah, I don't know.
Telling you, man, we're gonna do another bot swap. I'm gonna have the Kenny D options, and you're gonna have the Paper Profit crypto.
Oh God, that's hilarious. I don't know, man. This is wild. So, like, dude, if this does, like, anybody that took this here, if it does break down, that would be a pretty epic short too.
Yeah.
Even another flusher, and then big flusher below.
Jeez.
Here.
Oh yeah.
This would be the massive flusher if it does break below 0.2, 0.02.
Yeah.
Everybody that bought here, they're getting the fuck out. It's gonna flush to. That'll be it'll get cut in half.
Yeah. Jeez, yeah.
Too funny, man. What's Ethereum doing? Mine's AVAX. I liked Avalanche and I liked Harmony. What's the good? Does anybody on here know what like the best hyperscale layer one is right now? No fundamental people in crypto anymore. They're all gone. Damn. Oh, dude, these are all the same. They all the same. Basing. It's gonna be this. 21. 21.35. 22. Shit, dude. What percent is this on a futures contract? Like, you guys typically do. You guys do crazy leverage. I forgot.
I mean, it depends, but it depends. So you got to think of leverage the way you see contracts, right? When you do a weekly, that's you maximizing your leverage to 50x to 100x, right?
Yeah.
Quick
Like
movements,
how did you get your entry?
Exactly. A nice, upside on a long can give you a nice return, but at the flip side, going down, it can lose a lot, right? Same as options. When you're swinging, you want to look into your contracts into weekly, not weekly, into 2, 3, 4 weeks out, monthlies out, right? That's when you do your low leverage. It's the same thing on your crypto. You start putting it down to like a low leverage, a 10x, 5x, which will give you plenty of spaces, for all these nasty little drops that we have, because crypto is volatile, right? So I always say low leverage is pretty safe to go, like especially if you're first starting out. Reason I use high leverage is because I strongly believe in my TA. I put a lot of work into my TA. So, if you have the confidence and then fuck it. Why not do a 100x or a 75x on something that can get you in and out. I'm a day trader, right? I want to get in and out. I've seen some guys swing crypto into 2 or 3 days, and then they're hitting 100, 130, 140%, right? I've been able to do that in a day, just swinging, scalping kind of thing. So
Yeah.
that's everybody has their thing, man. I'm gonna say.
I just need to know which futures are liquid. I feel like that messed me up before when I first started playing with them. It's like the spreads, like you'd have a trigger, like okay, your stop triggers, and then your actual execution is like way the hell some other dollar amount, and you're like, what the fuck?
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
Nah, another thing I like about crypto, brother, is that is just like you're saying, right? The position sizing, that shit matters, man. And not for nothing, like I love crypto for
Yeah,
that because it
totally.
teaches you a lesson. Every time you try to get greedy and try to, oh, let me go full porting. And yeah, you might get lucky once or twice, right? Hit a nice big gain. Same thing happens in stocks and options. But then when you get that into that mindset that, you know what, I'm gonna full port every time because I think I'm fucking cool, boom, the market goes and slaps you right back down, right? Same thing with crypto. Whenever you put more than you're supposed to, you're gonna have a little liquidation line that's gonna be right next to your entry, and in the instant you get a reversal, boom, your whole account is gone. That shit
Yeah.
wakes a person up like this because it's done it to me, man. It's everything I preach to my guys is things that I've learned from experience, man. And that liquidation is not fun, right? Like if you're working your butt off 2 3 months to build your pour and you're getting it to where you want it to be, and then shit, man, you let that greed kick in and you go throwing in more than you're supposed to, and it knocks it all out in one trade. Like that shit isn't fun. It's not a funny thing to boast about, and it's not a good thing. It's a shit feeling. So you gotta avoid things like that, man. Greed, I'm telling you, man. I heard that the first 2 months that I ever put my hands on into trading, somebody had told me that in the chat. They're like, dude, greed is cancer. And I shit you not, bro. I wrote that down and I've been following it ever since and preaching it ever since. Guys, greed is cancer, man. Because anytime I've had a nasty loss, it's always been because of greed, man. It's always been me trying to just either put a little too much or not have a stop loss because I, too confident or too cocky. Like all those things matter, man.
Yep. Dude, seriously, why did this like double? What is going on with this one, Kenny?
Which one's that? Well, dude, I don't know. I was looking at it. I was trying to short it yesterday, and I was just sick, man. I didn't want to stay watching it for hours, so I ended up cutting for a small loss, like -35, -45. But I was trying to short it, man. It's just been running, dude, for days, bro, for days, man. I wanted to see if I can catch it, and I was looking at a resistance. I think right where you put that green line at 26 exactly. That'll be the next time I attacked it on a short.
Yeah, this is where it is, right? It's like so it's this wick right here that I was looking at, that little wick right there. But I just picked this because I could line it up to more.
Yeah, I see. Look, you have your support there, resistance, support.
Yeah, most time it's just what do you say? Like how many legit actually like wicks or pivots? Like where how many big candles show up at these certain levels? Like this is a big candle, the beginning of a big candle or a big move, a big wick, and then big candles to the upside. Big candle here. It's legit. Like for me, like that simple most of the time. Just to see where I think like buyers or sellers actually are. So there. It'll probably come all the way back.
That's the beauty of it too, right? When you find that line, next thing you know, you draw it back, keep going further back and back, and you'll see multiple times that it hits that line.
It might be added, dude. Check. So this is the other, like if I wanted to like double check or check. So I'll just like volume weighted by zones, like from here to here, where point of control is actually here. So in this kind of zone.
Sorry, man.
So you mean it's not going to go to the moon?
Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if it runs up to the next 26, bro. Honestly, the way it's been running, and again, I don't know even why. I mean, it's obviously showing that it broke 200 MA, which is good, right?
Yeah.
Indication to kind of,
With strength. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why, but I haven't seen any news on it or anything.
Pumpers. Yeah. If there was more like in Civic, this is like security token. These guys will squeeze sometimes when you hit these crazy levels. Like boom. What was that? LRC. Yeah. Same thing. Right in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, everything's just like basing. At least there's not that much downside left. I mean, you could still do another 90%, but he's not horrible. Dude, Link, my purchase on Link was 26 cents.
No shit.
Yeah. Didn't I tell you that before?
No, that's a long time ago. Well, actually, I think you did. I think when you first started. Oh yeah, when you first started showing me the charts in the chat.
Yeah, it was like but I gotta go way back. Oh yeah, here we go. Way back. Oh God. Look, these are all ICOs. Oh my God. RPX. No. Damn it. I want to find this too. You'll freaking love it. It's hilarious. Chainlink. This is how it used to get done way back in the day. You remember this stuff? So this is like a pool for an ICO.
Yeah.
So like these were our transactions. So you go Ethereum in, Link out here, right? So this is for 144 ETH. We got 450,000 Link. And so like one transaction today, that's a 50,000 transaction, I guess. Like, wow, I forgot how to see it. Why can't I see it? Anyways, yeah, whatever this 144 ETH for almost 500,000 Link. What is that for Link for token? Who knows? Way back when. Yeah. All right, guys. I gotta go do my recaps and stuff. It's been fun. Dude, you're sick. Kenny, you weren't even supposed to be here.
Yo, dude, I had to. I couldn't miss
hell?
this. Thank you so much, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
it.
All good, dude. I'll see you later, man.
All right, take care of yourself, brother. Thanks again, man. Awesome.
Yep. I'll see
Thanks a lot, buddy.
you later, guys.
Thanks. Okay.